Hi friends, today we are going to study about bones. Here we are going to study about definition and the composition of the bones. Bone is a one-third connective tissue. It is impregnated with the calcium salt which constitute the remaining two-third part. The inorganic calcium salt is calcium hydroxyapatite. Here, bone is one-third connective tissue. It is filled with calcium salt which constitute remaining two-third part of the bone. Here we are going to study about function of the bone. First one, it gives shape and support to the body. Means bones gives shape and support to the body and resist any form of the stress. It provides attachment to the muscles, tendons and ligaments, act as lever to help body movements. Body movements means muscular actions. It protects vital organs like bone, spinal cord, heart and lungs. It produces blood cells in the bone marrow, means manufacture of the blood, and bone stores such as calcium and phosphorus. It means it usually it store 97% of the calcium and the phosphorus. Help immune through the phagocytic cells in the bone marrow. It improve voice quality by air-filled sinus in a skull. It helps in immune response, means bone marrow contain reticuloendothelial cells which are phagocytic in nature and take part in immune response of the body. And improve the voice quality by air-filled sinus in the skull, means the large paranasal air sinuses are there. For example, ethmoidal sinuses affect the timbre of the voice. Here we are going to deal with classification of bones. Bones divide into 4 classes according to the shape: developmental classification, regional classification and structural classification. According to the shape, it falls into 7 types. First one, long bone, short bone, flat bone, irregular bones, pneumatic bones, sesamoid bones, accessory bones. In developmental classification, membrane bone. In membranous bone, we further dividing into cartilaginous bones, membranocartilaginous bones, somatic bones and visceral bones. In third part, regional classification. In axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. In fourth one, structural classification, there are compact bones and cancellous bones. Now we are going to study about long bones in detail. Long bone have shaft and 2 ends. Each long bone has an elongated shaft and 2 expanded ends which are smooth and articular. The shaft typically has 3 surfaces separated by 3 borders, a central medullary cavity and nutrient foramen directed away from growing end. Example, typical long bone, miniature or short long bone or modified long bones. Typical long bones are having 2 epiphyses. Example, humerus, radius, ulna, femur, tibia, fibula. Miniature or short long bones have only 1 epiphysis. Example, metacarpals, metatarsals and phalanges. Modified long bones have medullary cavity only in middle 2/3. Example, clavicle. Function, transmit weight from upper limb to axial skeleton. Here you all can see anterior view of skeleton and the posterior view of the skeleton, and in these diagrams we can see the all typical long bones, short bones and modified long bones. Next we are going to study about short bones. Short bones are small bones. They are usually cuboid shape or boat shape. They containing openings for blood vessels to pass through. Example, carpal bones and the tarsal bones. These are usually cuboid or scaphoid shaped bones, and example, tarsals and carpal bones, and these bones are pierced by the blood vessels. Next, flat bone. Flat bones are thin bordered and plate like bones. They form the wall and boundaries of the body cavities. Their main function is to protect internal organs and provide surface for a muscle attachment. Examples: bones of the skull, sternum, ribs, scapula. Flat bones resemble shallow plates and boundaries of certain body cavities. Next, irregular bones. Irregular bones have complex shapes that do not fit into the long, short, or flat bone categories. They perform special functions such as support, protection, and muscle attachments. Example: hip bone, sphenoid bone, and the first and second cervical vertebra. We can see spinal bone, which protect the spinal cord and support the body, and here we can see hip bone, which support the body and weight and form the hip joint, and next we can see sphenoid bone and mandible bones. Next, pneumatic bones. Pneumatic bones are bones that containing air-filled spaces. Example: maxilla, sphenoid, ethmoid. Function: make the skull lighter in weight, help in resonance of the voice, warm and moisten the inhaled air, improve the quality of voice. Pneumatic bones. Certain irregular bones containing large air space lined by epithelium. We can see examples of maxilla, sphenoid, ethmoid. These bones make the skull lighter in weight and help in resonance of voice and act as a air conditioning chamber for inspired air, and it also improve the timbre of the voice. Timbre of the voice means the quality of the voice. Next, sesamoid bones. Sesamoid bones are a small round bones found inside tendons or joint capsules. They develop after birth. Their main function to protect tendon, reduce friction, and improve muscle movement. Example: patella, kneecap, in tendon of the quadriceps femoris. Pisiform, in the tendon of flexor carpi ulnaris. Pabella, in the tendon of lateral head of gastrocnemius. And rider's bone may develop in the tendon of adductor longus in professional riders. They have no periosteum and ossified surface, and the surface of contact are covered with hyaline cartilage and lubricated by bursa or synovial membrane. And example functions of the sesamoid bones are to resist pressure, to minimize friction, and to alter direction of the muscles, and to maintain the local circulation, protect the vessels and nerves. Here are the images of sesamoid bones. First we can see patella, kneecap. The patella is largest sesamoid bone. It is embedded in the quadriceps tendon and protect the knee joint. And we can see second one, that is thumb. The sesamoid bone of the thumb. Two small sesamoid bones are present in the tendon of the thumb near the metacarpal joints. Accessory bones. Accessory bones are extra bones that are not present in everyone. They develop from additional ossification centers that do not fuse with the main bone. Common example: sutural bones in a skull, cervical ribs, lumbar ribs. Clinical importance: these bones can sometimes be mistaken for fracture on X-rays. Unlike fractures, they are usually present on both sides. They have smooth edges and show no callus formation. Accessory bones are not always present, and they may occur as ununited epiphysis development from extra center of ossification. Then Medically, we can see in X-rays that what we call that is mistaken for fractures on X-ray. That much. Here we can see accessory bones picture. First one, ossicles in sutures. It is Humanian bone. The small bones found in the suture between the bones of the skull. Here we can see. Next, trigonium, ankle bone. The small bone located behind the tarsal bone of the ankle. Third one is versalium, the small bone in the tendon of the pernicious longus near the fifth metatarsal. Then fourth one is epitrochleasis, a small bone located near the medial condyle of the humerus. Here we complete all bones which we was divided according to the shape. Next we are going to study about the bones which we classify under the development of the bones. Here is the developmental classification. It's further dividing into three types. First one, membrane bone. It's also called dermal bones. It develops directly from the membrane, means ossify in membrane and are derived from the mesenchymal condensation. Examples, frontal bone, parietal bone and maxilla. And second one is cartilaginous bones, develop from the cartilage model, ossify in cartilage and are thus derived from replacement of formed cartilaginous model. Examples, humerus, femur, vertebrae and ribs. And third one is membranocartilaginous bones, develop partly from the membrane and partly from the cartilage. It means ossify partly in the membrane and partly in the cartilage. Example, clavicle, mandible, occipital, temporal and the sphenoid bone. In developmental classification, we can also see somatic bones and the visceral bones. Somatic bones forms most of the skeleton. Example, most skeleton bones are of the body are the example of the somatic bone. We can see here skeleton bone image. And next one, visceral bone. It is the development from the pharyngeal arch. Example, hyoid bone, part of the mandible and the ear ossicle. In this page only we can see the examples of the visceral bone. Here are the images. First one is the part of mandible, hyoid bone and the ear ossicles. And here we complete all developmental classification of the bone. Next we are going to study about regional classifications. Regional classification. First one is axial skeleton and second one is appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton includes skull, vertebral column and thoracic cage. And appendicular skeleton includes bones of the limbs. Example, pectoral girdle, free upper limb and pelvic girdle, free lower limbs. Then images of the skeleton and axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton we was already shown in before page, slides. If you want, you can refer that slides. Here it is the last classification, structural classification. In structural classification of the bones, we divide into two types based on the structure. Microscopically, the architecture of the bone may be compact or the cancellous. In the compact bone, dense, hard, strong like ivory and form the outer layer of the bone, especially long bones, provide strength and resistant bending and twisting force. Cancellous bone, it is also called as spongy bone, light and porous with many space, containing bone marrow made up of network of tuberculi. And it also helps the resist compressive force. Key points: bones are designed to be the strong, flexible, lightweight. Their structure can change with mechanical stress, but their basic shape is mainly determined by heredity. Here is the image of bone which labeled both the spongy bone and the compact bone. And first one, it is in down we can see compact bone, which is dense in structure like ivory but is extremely porous. It is best development in the cortex of the long bones. This is an adaptation to bending and twisting force. In above we can see spongy bones, which is porous and is made up of meshwork tuberculi between the marrow containing spores. The tuberculi meshwork are three primary types, mainly meshwork of rods and plates, and meshwork of plates. Calculus bone is an adaptation to the compressive force. Complete bones. Bones means we complete definition, composition and all types of the bones. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. Please subscribe my YouTube channel.